my channel. So I'm coming today to give you guys an update on my fibroids, how I've been feeling, how I've been doing, which I guess is the same as how I've been feeling, things I've changed, how my eating habits have been, and just a general update on kind of where I'm at with the whole process of recovery and all that stuff. So for those of you who have not seen, I've already done 3 videos that are saved on my channel. I have a playlist. It's called All Things Fibroids. So you can go back and look at those videos because that would kind of give you a baseline to bring you up to speed to where I am now. So I had my surgery on June the 20th. So now, today is actually December the 20, what's today? The 28th. Today is December the 28th. So I am 6 months past my surgery, so this is a half a year update, which has blown my mind, like, in all honesty, because I was like thinking about it the other day. I sat down and asked my husband, I was like, baby, it's been 6 months since I had my surgery, and he was like, oh yeah, December the 20th, it was 6 months. So I mean, time has flown by. But everything, the process is still kind of vivid in my mind and everything that I went through, but I am so happy to be where I am today, you guys. So let me give you an update. So I wrote things down on my phone so that I didn't forget, you know, the important things to fill you guys in on and all of that. So the first thing, how have I been feeling? So I've been feeling great. I feel like myself, but then when I think about feeling like myself, okay, let me take a step back. So I had fibroids, I don't know how long, when my doctors first detected them, but I was asymptomatic for so long. So, but when they started getting bad, I didn't know they were bad, or that was maybe what was making me feel a certain way. So I say that I feel like myself, but I think I feel better than like myself, because myself, or what I thought was myself, wasn't actually my norm, if that makes any sense to anyone. Because I had fibroids, and I think some of the symptoms or ways I may have been feeling from time to time could have been contributed to the fibroids. So, but I've been feeling 100% healthy, thriving, and just overall really, really good. So I don't have any complaints in that regard. I haven't had any issues or anything of that nature. I have not begun like officially exercising. I did have like a 2-3 week span where I had started like doing something, but I fell off, y'all. Like, I'm just gonna be real, I fell off. So I didn't keep it up, and you know, whatever. So that ain't even anything to harp on. I'm gonna be out there with all those other jokers at the beginning of the year trying to get my life right. So I'm just gonna keep it real in that regard. So I have not been consistently exercising. How are my periods? So my menstrual cycle, what I believe to be my menstrual cycle, is really a birth control cycle. I don't know if you guys know, like, if you're on birth control, you don't have what is a true menstrual cycle. You have what is called a break, of when you are not taking the pills anymore. You're taking the placebo pills, and your body's like, oh, okay, well, I guess we can release some uterine lining. So it's not a true menstrual cycle. And it was funny when I went to the doctor about a month or so ago, no, maybe about 2 or 3 months ago, and I had said that to the nurse. She was like, how do you know that? And I was like, I was on birth control. I was not on birth control for so long that I know what my normal cycle is, or whatever, and how that feels. So anyway, my periods have been fine, very light, very normal, no cramping, but I never had cramping. I didn't have like extreme cramping beforehand, so that's pretty normal for me anyway. So yeah, the periods have been, you know, just normal, I guess, in that regard. The wound, how has my wound healed? So I am completely healed. Like, the wound was healed when I came in September and gave an update, and that was already done. But now you can still see that, like, the outside of it had like a little discoloration. Like I said before in my other video, you can have, you know, when you get a scar and then the pigment is coming back in within your skin, like that happens. So that's happening now with my wound, but it doesn't look bad at all, honestly. I may do an update, like show you my stomach at the end of the video. I haven't decided yet. Because I've kind of been out of control. Oh, in that regard, weight. Surprisingly though, I have not gained weight. So I'm still at 166 pounds. So that's, I guess, good. I haven't gained any weight. As far as eating goes, so this is what I've been doing. So I do a smoothie in the morning. I make a green, well, that's not the first thing. When I first wake up in the morning, I do 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and I'll do a seltzer water with that, mixed with a 8-ounce can of seltzer water, and drink that. Like, that's the first thing I drink in the morning. So that really gets, you know, flushes out things in my system and all of that jazz. And so then after that, I'll make me a green smoothie. In my green smoothie, I put apples, oranges, cucumbers, spinach, ginger. I do a tablespoon of turmeric powder, organic pure maple syrup, and some water to kind of blend everything together, and frozen mangoes and sometimes frozen banana. So that's my green smoothie that I make every morning. It's very filling. So I'll drink that. I'll drink that on my way to work. And then at work, I'll have a banana as like my mid-morning snack. So from like, usually around 10, so between 10 and 12, I'll eat a banana to get me to my lunch. And then for lunch, I'm eating that same meal I told you guys before in the other video, which is a quinoa bowl, which is quinoa, black beans, corn. I do salsa, and then avocado, and that's usually my lunch. And then for dinner, I switched it up, and now I usually do the rest of my smoothie for dinner instead of eating like a regular meal, because I'm trying to do as much raw food as I can, and sometimes, y'all, I'm gonna be real, I don't do that consistently. So during the week, 5 days a week, I can say out of those 5 days, I may hit my meal target maybe 3 of those days, but some days I'm like, oh, I don't feel like eating that. And so I need to probably figure out some variety and switch it up a bit, and that's what I'm going to try to focus on in the new year, kind of getting some variety in there, because it's the thing when, you know, you're eating the same thing over and over again, you don't want to keep eating it. So I'm probably going to try to switch up my smoothie a bit and kind of figure out something for my evening dinner situation. But I say that to say that I'm trying to eat as much raw and organic food as possible, and consume that as opposed to, you know, cooked food and food with all, you know, not, I don't know what word I'm looking for here, no substance, I guess is the word I'm looking for. But I'm trying to eat as plant-based as possible. And then on the weekend, I haven't been that terrible on the weekend, honestly. I still maintain it, but I may eat like more like seafood and stuff here and there, and then I may eat some chicken every now and then. So that's my update on eating. I'm not like hitting the mark every day, but I try as hard as I can to just make sure I'm getting as much nutrients and organic products in my body as possible. I'm really more cautious, I can say, of reading the labels now and knowing, you know, what's in the foods that I'm consuming, because I'm trying to stay away from anything with soy. Again, if you look at my old video, my other video, the one before this one, you'll see where I talk about estrogen dominance being the root cause for the growth of fibroids, and just making sure your hormones are balanced and all of that. So I do try to stay away from soy because soy contributes to estrogen dominance. So I look for that on the labels of foods that I consume. Other things that I've changed is I switched all of my feminine hygiene products to natural products. I mean, down to my pads, down to my panty liners. So I now use the Pure Always organic line for the Always pads. I can't remember the name of the panty liners that I use. My feminine wash that I use now is called the Honey Pot. I got it from Target. It is 100% organic, non-GMO feminine wash that you can use for your, you know, personal area. And then even my body wash, I switched to Method, which is naturally derived. So their products are not like 100%, but they're, you know, pretty close to being natural, I guess, and I guess the products they use inside of it. So I switched to that as well. All of our cleaning products are now natural products. Even our washing powder, I use the 7th generation washing powder. I use the 7th generation dishwashing liquid. I use Method or Mrs. Meyer's cleaning products. So all of that I have switched over to all natural products in every aspect of my life that I can think about. And it really does get you, you know, your wheels to churning, because when I'm not using things that are natural, I kind of look and say, you know, what's in this? Like, even to the point where the candles I burn, like I love Bath and Body Works candles, but I've recently been looking that up and realized that those have like toxic ingredients in them. So I'm like, probably shouldn't be burning those as much. I mean, it just made me just more aware of the things that you consume, and not just in your mouth, but just the things around you in your everyday environment, because it has a big effect on your health as well. Conception and where I am with that. So conception is still, you know, what it was. The doctor told my husband and I we have to wait a year post my surgery to even begin to conceive, and as I just said, I'm only 6 months out, so no conception over here, no trying over here. Just hanging out, chilling, which is good. And yeah, that's it with that. Oh, something that I can't update you guys. When I had to leave my doctor, which I was kind of sad about, and she was kind of sad about too, because, you know, when you go through something like, you know, I went through with my doctor, again, and if you have not, I preface this by saying you need to go back and look at the other videos to kind of understand my whole story. So I didn't have like a regular myomectomy. Like, I had, you know, slightly traumatic experience, ended up in the ICU and all of that. So when you go through, you know, something of that magnitude with someone, it kind of bonds you weirdly. Like when I went to see her for my last visit, which was like just her giving me like a recommendation for someone else to go to, you know, I was telling her, and she was like, I was just talking about you to my client over there, to my other patient. I was like, I bet you tell all your patients about me. I'm like that client now, since, you know, I had such a scare with my surgery or whatever. She's like, no, I'm just telling her, you know, how good you're doing and how well you've recovered, and, you know, all of that. And she did go on to tell me the who she would say is her second worst client. Not worse as in we're bad people, but, you know, had issues with their surgery as well. She and her husband are now pregnant, and I think she said she had her surgery like 2 years ago. So that was positive, I thought, when she told me that. So I mean, I'm going to try people out. If I don't vibe with this first person, I'll, you know, keep looking or whatever, because I think it's important for you to have a good relationship with your doctors. And all of my doctors, like my dentist, I really enjoy her. I've been going with her for 5 years. Now I got to find a new primary care physician, a new, you know, I'm going to this new GYN, but I just think it's important to have those type of relationships with your doctors, just so you guys can be on the same page. Because honestly, Dr. Carter really listened to me when I went to her, and she worked and she saved my uterus, because another doctor would have given me a hysterectomy, like without a doubt. And we've talked about this, her and I talked about this at length. Like, it's so where the doctor, she had to plead her case to them as to why she didn't give me a hysterectomy. And she was like, yeah, if it was someone else, they would have gave you a hysterectomy. And it's because she listened to me. She knew, you know, she knew my wants and you know, what the end goal was for me. So that's why I think it's really important for you to have those type of relationships with your doctors. So anyway, I'm rambling now, but that is it. Thanks so much for watching. If you guys cannot see, I've stepped my YouTube game up. As I said in my previous video, my previous fibroid video, that I had new things coming from my channel, and I have definitely been doing them. I had a minor hiccup the last week or so, the last 2 weeks, because I lost my camera. Yeah, so that happened, and I had to get a new one, but I got a new one and it's better. So I'm going to keep pushing out my content. So I thank you guys so much for subscribing to my channel, and if you're just new and checking me out, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, because I have more things coming, as you can see, or you can just take a look and binge watch some of my other videos. But thanks for watching. Bye.